And we begin with breaking news. Closing arguments will start tomorrow in the federal trial for the beating death of Tyre Nichols. Today, attorneys for all three former Memphis police officers rested their case. Thank you for being with us at 5. I'm Daryl Green. Darcy Thomas is off this evening. Fox 13 investigative reporter Kayla Solomon is live downtown. So, Kayla, the final side ended its case in just the last couple of hours.
Yeah, Daryl, first thing this morning, we heard from attorneys for Demetrius Haley and Tadarius Bean that they were done calling up witnesses. But Martin Zumock, the attorney for Justin Smith, still had a few witnesses to call up, and that's what we heard for the remainder of today. One of his witnesses called up was a character witness, and then there was a witness expert. Now, one of the people called up was a former Memphis police lieutenant. He referred to Smith as a good officer. We also heard from a current Memphis police lieutenant who also described Smith as a good officer. One went as far as to say if his own child was arrested, Smith is the officer he'd want to make the arrest. Prosecutors asked both men what their definitions of a good officer were. They asked if a good officer would repeatedly punch someone he or she is arresting. Both witnesses answered no. Another use of force expert told the jury, based on what he's researched, Smith did not violate any policies the night Tyre Nichols was beaten. He said Smith used constraint. Prosecutors asked him if he had any knowledge of the MPD training and policies beyond the materials given to him by Zumock. The witness answered saying no. State Representative G.A. Hardaway joined Nichols' family in the courtroom today. He told Fox 13 what he's learning from the trial.
We're also anticipating that a lot of what's being said today and that we'll be able to gather data from in the future will be the results of the patterns of practice investigation that's ongoing with the U.S. Department of Justice. So we're assuming that they are paying as close attention to this trial as we are, and we'll have other legislation that will be a result of their findings.
Now, of course, the question now is what comes next? Coming up at 6, I'll answer that question for you and also tell you where we will start off tomorrow morning. Daryl.
Fox 13's Kayla Solomon live in downtown Memphis at federal court. Thank you, Kayla. Now, keep in mind, this is just the first of 3 trials related to Nichols' death. The federal criminal trial is for violations of Nichols' civil rights and the attempt to cover it up. After this, there will be a trial in state court. That's for murder charges related to Tyre Nichols. The third trial is in federal court again. This time it's a civil wrongful death lawsuit against those officers, the city of Memphis, as well as others. Nichols' family is asking for $550 million in damages. That trial is tentatively scheduled for March. Now, Fox 13 is committed to covering this trial until it ends. Kayla will have the latest developments from the courtroom every day. And you can also follow along with the Fox 13 News app for the very latest details.